Hi, everyone. Welcome to Livestream with me, Dr. Aparajita Jeetagunta. I am a leadership coach for ambitious working professionals, especially women who want to overcome their self-doubt, beat imposter syndrome permanently, and transform themselves into visible leaders who are seen, heard, valued, respected, and most importantly, recognized. I also help organizations leverage their internal talent to develop a pipeline of visible leaders who are conscientious, compassionate, and people centered, and thereby increase their bench strength and their economic profits. So, enough about me. What I wanted to talk about today really is the secret to everybody's success, especially with everything going on, with a lot of pushing happening about reopening, about let me center that. There you go. A lot of reopenings happening and a lot of push and pull happening politically. There does seem to be a little bit of confusion about what needs to happen. There is chaos and there is a lot of uncertainty. And people are saying that, we need better leadership. We need better leadership. And yes, the secret to success is good leadership, because if we don't have people who are conscientious, who are compassionate, and who are people-centered, they are going to lead us right into the ocean with no floaties, no life rafts, and nothing. We are going to go straight there, whether we know how to swim or not. So that's not the secret to societal success. The secret to societal success is tied into leadership mindset, in that it is tied into mental well-being. How mentally well are your leaders? How mentally well are the people making these decisions? That's what I want to talk about today, because the leadership mindset part, I'm actually talking about it in a webinar on Wednesday, either at 12 p.m. or 8 p.m. You pick and choose, Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to be talking about the 5 leadership mindsets and behavior shifts that need to happen for us to experience success and profitability as a society. So that's not what today's is about. If you are just joining in, welcome. If you're watching this after the live is done, welcome. For those who are just joining in, please let me know you're here in the comments. I love to have these conversations with people live. So please, please, please do let me know. And I will be more than happy to answer any questions you have or any things that come up through this. But today, I want to talk about how the majority of our leadership does not even know where their mental well-being lies or stands, and they're just making these decisions willy-nilly, which I call strategy-free decisions. They're strategic decisions that help all of us, and what we're going through right now are just like almost a whole bunch of strategy-free decisions that are coming out of the ether. Hey, Ananda, how are you? I'm so glad you joined. This is right up your alley. This is right up our alley, girl, because I want to talk about mental well-being. And when I talk about mental well-being, I don't mean mental illness or mental health the way we traditionally think about it. What we know about good, conscientious, compassionate, people-centered leadership is that the leaders that we're talking about are well-balanced mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and societally, to be able to address their own needs and the needs of those who they are serving. And that serving part is important, because as a leader, you are taking that title, you are stepping into that space to serve. If you have any other inclinations other than service, then you should really, really rethink leadership, because there are many other ways for you to get your um, individual needs served, for which you don't have to be a leader. But when we are talking about leadership, it is important that we talk about that service component, because as a leader, your most important task is to serve those who respect you enough to listen to you, and those who respect you enough to probably follow whatever advice you give them. If you are going to give them advice, it has to be people centered, not self centered. And for that to happen, you have to come from a state of mental well being. This is a state of balance. This is a mindset that really, really deeply leans into your growth and your learning and your vulnerability as a human being. So, what that really means is that as a leader, you actually have to be more vulnerable than anybody else you are serving, so that through your vulnerability, you can tap into your compassion, and everybody else can tap into their compassion as well. And you can all come together toward a common shared purpose. That really is the first secret to the success of a leader, is you have to be able to tap into yourself. Thank you, Ananda. I really appreciate that. So when I'm talking about mental well-being here, I am talking outside of the scope of mental illness and mental health. I'm talking about an overall sense of balance. Now, how is this overall sense of balance related to your leadership mindset? Well, this overall sense of balance is related to all your mindsets, because think about what you think your potential is when you are self-deprecating, when you are talking crap about yourself, when you think of yourself as a fixed entity that is not capable of growth and development. And then think about what your potential is when you realize this person that you want to be, you're just not them yet. All of my clients have heard this. Most of my friends have heard this. Yet is probably my most favorite word in the English language, because you may not be there yet, but you can be, because you can grow and develop to be exactly who you need to be, to attract the right kind of people to you, to have the impact you want to have with your service. So when you are mentally well, the very idea of who you are as a leader gets tremendously impacted. It completely changes, because when you come from a state of mental well-being, it affects your identity. It affects who you think of yourself as, how you think of yourself, what you think your growth potential is, and exactly how you think you can grow. When you realize the growth in yourself, when you realize the potential in yourself and you start leaning into that, that's when you can start seeing the potential in those you serve. That's when you can start being a leader in the way your people need you to be, whomever you're serving. That's when you can be a good team leader or a group leader or an organizational leader or a CEO, a CFO, a COO, a board of director, anything else. You have to be able to understand what are the needs of the people that you're serving and how do I meet them. Now, there is a caveat here. This does not mean you have to be a pushover. And this does not mean you have to be a yes man or a yes woman that says yes to everybody you come into contact with. But when you are coming from a place of mental well-being, and when you step into your leadership mindset, you will be very clearly able to distinguish who you are actually serving and who is trying to take advantage of you. Who is it that you are meeting their needs, and who is trying to get you to bend over backwards because of their own personal issues. And you will be able to differentiate this like that in the click of some fingers. Because when you are mentally well, you acknowledge your emotions, but you are able to put them aside to make objective decisions about those you are serving. So, really, the secret to success is acknowledging your emotions, being vulnerable, taking in all of that, and then putting that aside just for a second to make objective decisions that you need to, because you understand that this is better for everybody involved that you are serving. You are able to give people what they need to thrive, and it doesn't drain energy from you. You are able to empower people to give their best selves because you are giving your best self as somebody who is mentally well balanced. And you are able to model that. And by doing that, you are able to model inclusion in every space that you are a part of. So today is actually going to be a really short live session, because that really is the key to your mental well-being and your leadership mindset. Now, what are the leadership mindset shifts and the behavior shifts that you need to start practicing right now in order for you to take advantage of success and profitability and growth and development? Those are coming up in my webinar on Wednesday. I have 2 sessions at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will put the link in this as soon as the live is done in all the channels, so you can have access to it and sign up if you'd like to. And we're going to talk about the 5 things you need to do as a leader to make sure that you are an inclusive leader, to make sure you have a growth mindset, and to make sure that you are successful and that you are keeping your organization's profitability in your mind as you are being a leader. But again, this is just pre-education. In order for you to even be that successful and profitable leader, check your mental well-being first. If you are not coming from a place of mental balance, you are not serving at your highest capacity. So what is it going to take you to achieve that balance? And here, please don't be afraid to ask for help. All of us who are leaders have an army of coaches behind us. So please don't be afraid to join this movement of leaders who have the support system so that they can be the best leaders that they want to be. We don't live in vacuums. We are social beings, and it is expected that you take the social help to be the best leader that you can be, so that you can serve in your highest capacity, and so that you can amplify the impact that you want to have on those that you serve. That's it for me. I will post the links. If you have any questions or if you want me to clarify anything, here is my contact info. You can contact me on Facebook at Dr. AJ Rao Coach. You can contact me on Instagram at Dr. AJ Gidigunta. That's JEEDIGUNTA. Or you can go directly to my website, www.ajrao.com. That is www.ajrao.com. And right on the very top, you'll see a button that says schedule your free clarity call. No strings attached. If you have any questions about any of my live streams, you can get them answered there. Again, no strings attached. I just want to be able to help all of us become conscientious, compassionate, people-centered leaders, because that is what we need to move forward from this unprecedented time into the new normal. Really, there is no new normal. We're going to create our own reality. And I'd love for you to be a part of that movement as a leader. Don't hesitate to reach out to me for whatever help you need in that regard. But that's about it for me today. I'll be back on Thursday with another live stream. Until then, I'll talk to you later. And I will post the link to the webinar coming up on Wednesday on the 5 leadership mindset shifts and behavior shifts that you need right now so you can have success and achieve profitability as a leader. That's about it. See you on Thursday. Bye.